Oh yeah. What is it? Me, music, yeah. Oh, great. We all love music, don't we? um, you know, what is it about that old music, man? What is it about that old music? Yeah? Those old tunes, man. Those old tunes. Sometimes there's no escaping from them, and you know, it's probably criminal to tune a guitar right in the middle of precious airtime. But you see, we're really lucky that we live in the era of YouTube, where, like, you know, there's no real quality control. You can just fire up whatever, like, you know, and conscientious YouTubers that are very intent on growing their audience and all of that, they're probably employ all sorts of technological little nitwit escapades, you know, in order to try and get an extra 5 subscribers or something. But whoever, you know, recommended that, like, you know. So, yeah, music, what is there to say, really? It's all been done, hasn't it? What about Joni Mitchell? Oh, she was using a lot of those sus chords, wasn't she? As was Pete Townshend. Did you hear me pronounce the H in Townshend? Yeah. All those weird ones, supposedly unresolved. And you might ask yourself, well, what's this lesson on? Okay, so music, right? So we got these metered tones, right? It's only a 1 and a flat 7 in each instance, okay? So we're starting with an A, all right, in the key of A. All right, right back to A flat, same voicing. And then up to good old C sharp. Yeah, 9th fret. All right. And what the hell do you play over some, you know, grey 91 Macintosh style thing like that, you know? You know, bum, bum, bum. That, hip hop being the sort of music of the day, isn't it? Was it kind of superseded rock and roll, hasn't it? So that's the medium you gotta work in, nearly. Yeah, a couple of jazz players in the session. They want to get off. Great, man. Yeah, can you get with those chords? Is that a 2-5-1? Is that a D minor? Go. You know what I mean? It's like throw away the sheet music, mate. You know what I mean? But that's easy enough to get around. But the character of that would suggest that you'd want to play in fourths to me. You know, those type of sounds. Like, you know, strange, like playing in fourths or fifths, you know. You know, with no thirds or no sevens, no real flavours in it. You know what I mean? That's what that suggests to me. But then, going back to old Miles Dewey Davis, the 16th note, he said play what's not there. So although that what we played ain't there, it's in the ballpark. And, you know, that's kind of the feeling that we're getting. So let's build it around that to begin with. You know, familiar sounds, familiar to the initial theme or motif, whatever you want to call it. Right? And then from there, really, if you want to be Miles Davis, put something in that's not already there. Which is a very awkward kind of challenge, isn't it? You know what I mean? Easy for Miles Davis, you know. But so God knows what he would, but something out of character, but which somehow complements it or provides a contrast. Then you would say, you know, a melody or a counter melody, or a subtle sort of nudge in the harmony. You know, because if you know, a lot of jazz harmony was very typical. Where Miles came in, right? Really. Because, I mean, you had all of the swing standards and stuff, and I'm not an expert in that stuff. And then you had the bebop or whatever, so it's like double the amount of chords or whatever, you know. And then Miles came in with Birth of the Cool, so a lot of that stuff from like European classical composers, ideas from there came into it, and it was a great mix, and there was the sort of kind of revolutionary, I suppose, at the time, the fact that he had a lot of white musicians playing on that session that he was slated for by some of his contemporaries, but which he came out and said, look, you know, I'm Miles Davis, you know, go and do one. So if he could nudge, you know, a harmony that's too typical with just a couple of those little voicings, you know, haven't already been through that. And then next bringing it into the modal thing and the more simpler type of, you know, with none of the beauty lost, you know, and perhaps the jazz of that day made more relatable. You know, is there a more relatable album than Kind of Blue? You know, I'm not a jazz player, like, you know what I mean? I'm a little guitar player who hopes to happen upon the old occasional little bit of whatever, you know, but it's interesting music to study, and you know, you sometimes just have to look at the neck on the likes of some of these hip-hop guys. They don't care that they're not Miles Davis or that they're not Thelonious Monk, you know, that they're not Benedict Cumberbatch or whoever, you know, or George Thorogood. They just come right in, man, and they're like, look, well, oh, I borrowed the concept outside of some bebop shit. I was like, did you? Like, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but, you know, it's having that self-belief and perseverance and sort of stubbornness and ignorance nearly just to go like, look, I'm gonna lift one of their concepts, yeah, and just bring it on over here. Why not? Why not? Is there a law against that or something? Oh no, there isn't. Great. Then we can fly on. Anyway, guys, good luck with your songwriting endeavors and with your journey into, around, and straight back out of jazz.